Once upon a time, there was a boy named Kelvin who lived in the bustling city. Kelvin was a bright, curious child who enjoyed school and learning new things every day. One Friday afternoon, after a tiring day filled with lessons, Kelvin hurried home, eager to grab a snack and settle into his favorite cartoon. As he approached his house, he noticed that the front door was slightly ajar. A strange, uneasy feeling began to gnaw at him, but he brushed it aside, thinking his parents might have forgotten to close it properly. Slowly, he pushed the door open and stepped inside. Kelvin walked into the sitting room and immediately froze. Sitting on the couch was a man he had never seen before. The man was tall and dressed in ragged, mismatched clothes, with a wild look in his eyes. His hair was unkempt, and his face was covered with a scraggly beard. He didn't look like anyone Kelvin's family knew, and he definitely didn't belong in their home. The stranger turned his head and locked eyes with Kelvin. For a moment, neither of them moved. The tension in the air was so thick it could be cut with a knife. Kelvin's heart began to race. He had no idea what to do, but he knew he needed to stay calm. Kelvin slowly backed up, trying not to make any sudden movements that might startle the man. As he did, he felt his phone in his pocket. Without breaking eye contact, Kelvin slipped his hand into his pocket and pressed the power button on his phone 3 times in quick succession, just like his parents had taught him in case of an emergency. This activated the emergency SOS feature, which silently called for help and sent his location to his parents and the local authorities. The man continued to stare at Kelvin, not saying a word. Kelvin stayed perfectly still, hoping the man wouldn't do anything rash. After what felt like an eternity, there was a loud knock at the door, followed by the sound of a police siren blaring outside. The man's eyes darted toward the door, his expression turning from confusion to panic. Without a second thought, the man bolted out of the back door, disappearing into the alley behind the house just as the police officers stormed in through the front. Kelvin stood there, still shaken, but relieved. The officers quickly assessed the situation, and after making sure Kelvin was safe, they set out to find the intruder. Later that evening, Kelvin's parents rushed home, hugging him tightly. They praised his quick thinking and bravery, reassuring him that the police were doing everything they could to catch the man. Kelvin knew that even though the experience had been terrifying, he had learned a valuable lesson that day. Sometimes, staying calm and using your head is the best way to stay safe. From that day on, Kelvin always double-checked the locks on the doors and was extra careful whenever he came home. And though life returned to normal, he never forgot the day he found a stranger in his sitting room. Subscribe for more interesting stories.